Yes, geezers, Specie here. Not feeling too well. I'm doing this video in one take, but I'm just about to play BigKukuRuZina, who got to the final of Gwent Masters in December. It's a community tournament. I've targeted Nilfgaard with my lineup, okay? So I've got a jackpot deck, Salamander, that got banned, unfortunately. I've got this deck, which is my most updated version of the Gurney deck. Basically, the key difference is I'm playing the Unicorn now. As this can be really good in a lot of matchups, like you can hit Fukusha, for example. It's pretty bad against NR though, and my opponent is unfortunately playing NR as one of their decks. I also got, oh shit, so glad I checked this, because actually in the list I submitted, I have natural selections, not D-bombs. I have a Gankian. The idea of this is like, if I'm struggling to get Sabbath, I can just dump this in between two of my Gurneys. It's like a 9-point play. Not really convinced by this card. Bargeist is really good as well, because if your all your fruits gets answered, then you can use your Bargeist to like get the row less than Sabbath, so your Gurney's transform back, and then you play another card, get Sabbath again, and then you get more fruits. So that's like a pretty interesting card. And Mandrake is therefore, if your opponent purifies your defender, you just Mandrake it, and they have to try and purify it again, which is often quite difficult. So yeah, that's one of the decks I'm going to be playing. The other deck that I've got is very much thrown together in a short space of time, as kind of evidenced here by the knickers that you can see I've got. Again, the idea of this is it's going to be good into the Nilfgaard mirror. Warwick the All-Seeing has always been very good in Nilfgaard mirrors, because you can steal like your opponent's best cards. Similarly, Cantarella, as well as Traherne, like if your opponent plays Calvate, these cards just absolutely pop off in this matchup. You get to mill one of their cards, and you can Vilgefortz it to put it into your hand. Yeah, I'm also using an Ethereum Merchant, which is basically like a spare spotter. And I also put Brathens in there in case I steal my opponent's Brathens, I can actually make use of it. Now there's a problem. BigKukuRuZina decided not to play Nilfgaard. So yeah, I blame Spiro. It's like a team tournament, so there's like 3 of us in the team, and Spiro's advice was, yeah mate, just I don't know if I'm going first or not either, by the way. I should probably try with that. Spiro's like, mate, yeah, just ban Nilfgaard. I'm going second, I think that's what that means. I guess I play this going second then. Alright, so yeah, I blame Spiro basically, so we're just going to have to wait and see if the tournament platform does its job. I'll just message him. Just muted myself, that's not ideal. Hopefully the tournament platform is going to come through. I'm a little bit skeptical that it will, but we'll see. Yeah, unfortunately not going to be any editing on this one, so there'll be some timestamps, I guess, in the description. Just because I'm trying to film this to get it up today. I'm not streaming right now. As I said, I've been feeling pretty, like right now I've got a pretty bad headache. You can even just tell, right? Like my eyes are kind of like glazed over. I've got like pretty bad pain like behind my eyes. I don't know if it's like a migraine type thing, if it's like a blue light type thing, but we're trying to get it sorted. I went to the gym yesterday, that was pretty nice. Yeah, we've got a week left of the season or so. So the content's sort of getting to that point where it's like drying out a little bit anyway, so it's always nice to do these community tournaments. Starting next month, we're going to have qualifiers going on at weekends as well, where I'm going to be casting some, and also I'm going to be playing, hopefully, in some as well. But I haven't actually qualified. My scores are pretty bad right now. See what Big Cuckoo's saying. He's not said anything, so just have to wait and see what happens on this screen. Just have to wait and bloody see. Again, there's going to be a timestamp. Maybe just jump ahead until the game actually begins. It's going to be in the description, or if you're watching on PC, you can actually just see, I think, where it is on mobile. You don't get that right. Yeah, mate, my head is kind of pounding, so not ideal. Yeah, so I'm not streaming this morning when I'm playing this. I'm just going to play the game, go for a little walk, and then stream afterwards to try and get my head to stop hurting. Just taking some paracetamol, but kind of had it for like 3 days now, unfortunately. I am going to give up talking, so just skip ahead. Okay, cool. There we go. Alright, let's bloody have it, mate. I've got a bit of a headache. I'm up against BigKukuRuZina. We have the matchup we probably wanted to find, which is Nilfgaard. Well, on this coin. I mean, it's going to be interesting. This deck's so bad. Okay, we need the Warrant, which we've got. We need an Alchemist, which we don't have, guys. Where is the Alchemists? So we have Spotter, we have Cantor, which kind of counts. We also have a Fury Merchant, which kind of counts. Okay, cool, we got a Spotter. Lovely job. Lovely job. I guess we just bin off a Courier as well. Okay, what a hand, mate. What a hand. We've got the Warrant, we've got the Traherne. So this is like the Warrant is like my card, and then the Traherne is always what I think is my M1's kind of card. I should probably look at my opponent's deck list too. So I know there's an Istrid. There's no Envoys either though, so like if my man missed Istrid, like the Warrant can kind of punish pretty heavily. I guess what he'll do though is if he has Istrid, all he has to do is just play it down on the board, and then can click it as and when he wants. So if he goes Istrid, what we do is we bait with the Courier that we've got a good card, because they don't know what we put on top. Then they might click he might click Istrid. So yeah, pretty standard deck. Chapter of Wizards, no Spellweavers, which is good for the Gurney matchup, although that's a pretty horrific matchup usually. Selkirk, Adalia, Vengeance, Shani, Gerhardt. Couple of casting contests. There's an Istrid, a lock as well. So, Big Cuckoo, what's it going to be? I imagine he's going to go for the Istrid. That would be my play. Goes for the Letitia, okay.
Magic is all around. You need but reach out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an answer for that. What we can do though is we can Viglyfort the assault, right? Let's see what we get, mate. Come on.
Dark is my ally.
Alright, I'll take a Gerhardt. Okay, dude. Now, we get to play... Look, he can just draw it! Oh no, guys. This hasn't gone to plan. Yeah, okay. Forgot about that. Oh dear. I think we're gonna lose. Just a suspicion. I guess the Courier was the play then, huh? Warrant the All-Seeing, just giving my opponent his gold. What a gentleman. Not ideal. So yeah, unfortunately this matchup, this deck was like put together in a very short space of time, and it was just completely aimed at winning Nilfgaard mirrors as well. Certainly not looking too hot for us, I think it's fair to say.
As you command.
Alright. I mean, that's a card. He can flipping winch the Vengeance. What am I doing, guys? This is just a nightmare. I just don't feel well, mate. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, guys. This has gone so badly. God. Oh no, chat. I'm even getting emoted, mate. Oh dear. It's not gone too well for me, has it, this? Oh. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna Viglyforts now, get the assault, I suppose. I suppose we could also just like steal some of their stuff, but whatever, dude. Such a stinker, mate, from start to finish this. I mean, he could definitely pass as well. I don't have the juice, but seems pretty unlikely. Maybe I do have the juice with Sunset. I'll just go Spotter, get a nice little bronze card for my assault. Not ideal, this one, I have to say. Of course, the longer I go, the more their patience gets as well. And we know they have Selkirk and Gerhardt in hand, thanks to myself. Well, I mean, Selkirk was already going to be there, right? Alright, pretty close first round. It's gone well. So the thing with Warwick decks as well, like it's all about carryover. They've always just been best, like, if you have a good round 1, they're great. And if you have a bad round 1, they're absolute arse. So yeah, I think we know how this one's going, unfortunately. But we do have a lot of points with the leader. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of over now. It's kind of over, I would say. This is like a courier route. Anyways, the Trahan here. Alright, so obviously I have Assault, which currently looks dead, but I just spot or something.
Your attention, please.
That is not a very epic set of cards to find, huh? I'm not even sure that's very good either, but never mind. It's because we gave him all the bloody golds of Warwick and Courier. I mean, the Courier they were already going to draw, so we actually got very unlucky there. The Selkirk, sorry, they were already going to draw, right? Casting contest has got to go. I would guess. Maybe not. So we may have to go for a nice little bit of reveal here. Oh, oh, proactive 6, guys. That's popping off me. Honestly, I do think this was winnable if they missed Vengeance. I feel like I regret nothing. Like, the thing is, guys, listen. I know the Vengeance cucked me. The one thing I regret is putting Selkirk on top with the Courier route. When I did. But into Inch. But the Warwick, we just kind of had to go for it, you know? Like, they didn't have Istrid down. I guess they could have gone Istrid leader charge as well, so... we were kind of just screwed. I forgot about the whole leader charge part of it. Actually, can they go Istrid? They can't go Istrid leader charge, right? It's just that I think maybe he starts with 1 patience. I don't know. I don't think he does. So I think, honestly, our line was probably fine. We just say that they didn't draw Vengeance. It's kind of what it came down to. Like, I've been like harsh on myself, but really it was probably the only line. Just try and high roll. Very, very skillful deck, by the way. With Chapter of Wizards being found there. Alright. Means we've got like big patience on these now. I suppose it made more sense actually for me to go for the student, right? Because then I could have had Zeal on alumni. That was probably almost definitely the play I should have gone for this one. Oops. I was thinking I would rather give them the boosty card though. For Shani. Plays further into Invo, but probably should have taken the other one.
I hope we can trust you.
If it's peace you desire, prepare for war. Snap and done. Below us,
Oh, don't hit the shield, man. What the hell? Okay, so Tony Giles seems okay. The Mentor's really bad, and so is that. Missing Brathens is pretty impressive, really, with this many thinning cards. Gonna try and invo the Gerhardt, probably. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, we can invo Gerhardt if we just like steal something with a spotter, right? To put into our deck. And then draw the Gerhardt with this.
History lies buried here.
Please wait, Your Excellency. Falling behind.
Do we just start with the inferior merchant, guys? Oh dear. What a deck, mate. Again, the thing is, if I queue into NG, it's probably popping off. And this one was thrown together in a very short space of time. So I was like, right, I'm targeting NG, I guess, because Spyro told me to. It did make sense. So with the other decks I wanted to play, like Salamander's very good into it, and so is Gurney. Like Gurney especially, it's like a free win into it almost. But yeah, it's only best of 3, so the likelihood that they bring Nilfgaard is significantly reduced by that. I do think the vast majority of people have got a Nilfgaard deck. Big Cuckoo not being one of those, though, unfortunately for us.
Cheated. It will not be. Why do they not fall?
Let's see what we get. Oh no, we gave it. Oh god. God. Oh dear. Yeah, okay. Obviously I could have spotted first, but there's also a problem where I want to like invoke Gerhardt or something like that to then draw into it and then spot or something for this assault. So I was just trying to play from like the left. Obviously you should just click Istrid now and shuffle the Brothans back away.
But we shall prevail.
Alumni is a very interesting deck, by the way. Lots of interesting gameplay. Okay, decides to let us have it back. That's very nice of him. I am also giving them the opportunity here to slam a mentor for some reason. Probably should have given them the... I mean, the practice makes perfect, and all undercasting contests are a bunch of points too, right? Whereas at least this forces them to click the Istrid now. Don't know if that really makes a difference. But yeah, I mean, I need to have something for my assault. He is a bit of a roper, isn't he, this guy? It's almost like he knows what he's doing. I still think this series is winnable. This deck is like so bad. Gurney's so bad into this deck anyway. I mean, admittedly, Warrett is really terrible into...
Severed limbs, blood and guts. If only they knew.
Warrett is really quite bad into... Battle Trance because of the discard package. There was maybe an argument to just ban this deck and not ban Syndicate, but the Syndicate deck is just so good into the Gurney deck. This one is also very good because you end up sabbathing stuff like Gerhardt. But yeah. So we do still need something for the Amphibious Assault. I mean, honestly, it's quite close, all things considered. Like, you can see this was maybe winnable if my man misses the Vengeance.
We have each other's backs. That's more than most.
Your name, young man, to be cursed into an
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
Yeah, I probably should have had Zeal on these rather than the 9 damage. That's doing nothing for me. It's just going to die every time, right? Suppose we're just going to invo an Alumni and then assault it out as well. There's Zeal. To invo on Istrid better? Probably, yeah. Okay. Wheels! Gerhardt's still around as well.
Stand and fight, cowards!
Kind of surprised how close this game was, though. Like, I know it wasn't close, but it was kind of close, you know? Alright, GG. Like, imagine that he misses Vengeance in round 1. I still haven't worked out how Istrid even works. Like, does it start with Patience 1 or does it start with Patience 0? If it starts with Patience 1, it's a different story, and then we were just probably losing because they can always assault for it. May, imagine I did this a turn sooner and had the... Wait, I can do it? Oh, the synergy! Oh, it has Zeal? Why does it have Zeal, bro? Shame I just don't have enough cards left, mate. Oh, I'm the real winner here. Popping off with Istrid. Mate, this was actually like 17 points. Is that it? Guys, come on. That's insane. It's actually winnable. Holy shit. That's insane. I'm actually pretty chuffed with that. I'm actually pretty chuffed with that. Why did it, what? Wait, Istrid has Zeal? I didn't know that. I'm gonna take a quick look at Istrid. That was weird. Is that a bug? Ah, has Zeal. Okay, so it also has Patience 1. Alright. We've now got to beat Battle Trance twice. So obviously we're playing Gurney. His Battle Trance deck is not got a Purify. Oh, no Purify. Oh, there does. There's a Pella. There's a Pella. There's no Grimace. There is a Pella though. That's quite nice though, because Grimace. Oh, excuse me. If he Pellas my Cave Troll, and then I Mandrake with Grimace, like you need to like move the Grimace first with a Drowner, which slows you down a turn. Alright. So, of course he's playing Gedineth. I can't believe how close that last game was when I played, like... Obviously it went wrong. I think I had to do the Warrett stuff still. Like, I don't regret it particularly. The Courier one is kind of bad though, to be fair. But it is what it is. Also, like, just not getting Zeal on my Alumni was a mistake, right? I would have had like maybe 8 extra points or so. That assault into flipping Istrid with Snowdrop was sick though. Filthy. Alright, just waiting for Big Cuckoo to ready up, and then we're good to go, mate. Just waiting for Big BigKukuRuZina. Again, there'll be a timestamp in the description as to when the game starts, so it might be worth just waiting. Big Cuckoo. Or maybe it's the tournament platform. Alright, I message him just to see if the tournament platform's bugged or if my man's keeping us waiting. Ba ba da ba da ba da. Alright, cool. Let's have it, mate. So, a big part of this deck is obviously drawing the right cards. He does have a Heatwave, Decoction, Delirium as well. Already, we've got what we need, mate. Look at that. The AQ, the Gurney, the Cave Troll. Now, we do want to use the Unicorn in round 1 to try and get the Fukusha. Could hit Crow Mother, though. Or Coral. But, yeah. Gonna mulligan Gurney and go for this. Mandrake is great for the reset as well. Is there anything in particular I'm looking for? I don't think I want Red Haze in opening hand, really. Okay, so we just open with Cave Troll here. Send him an emote. Come on, this is all I care about, winning with this deck. Like, the Warrant deck is so bad. It was just completely hard targeting the mirror. But I want to win with the Gurney deck, mate. Let's be fair. We know the Warrant deck was the weak link coming into it. We had Salamander this, and I wasn't sure what else to play. So we built a Warrant deck for the NG mirror. But I'll be so sad if we don't win with this, mate. This is all I need is to beat Big Cuckoo with this deck, and it's a successful tournament. You know? Obviously, I had to start off with the Warrant one because of the coin. Like, this is just a blue coin deck. All we want to do here, we don't even want to play a buyer. We just want to get out before that and pass on 7 pretty much. That's going to be the game plan here. So, no Purify. We could have Nero, but I think we just rolled the Kree for the Unicorn here. Fukusha? No! Fukusha's in hand. It's pretty unfortunate. Some nice little carryover for Big Cuckoo. He's welcome. We're doing all sorts of favours for him, aren't we? Obviously, that's just one of them ones where, like, if he doesn't draw the Fukusha, it's a different story. But yeah, all we're going to do now is go for the AQ on the Gurney. We're going to lead her. We're going to earn it, and then probably going to lead her and pass, I would imagine. And hope the rain misses us as well. Like, obviously I can take the Abaya, but like this is what we do on blue coin. We just pass, right? Like, look how far ahead we are, and this is all pure carry for us too, right? Like, we have 5 targets in the graveyard. One downside for us as well is that there's only 2 targets. This is actually a really good pass, or like a Swallow Potion, so I can't Sabbath instantly. This is another thing the Unicorn does, is it actually puts another card in our opponent's graveyard for our Sabbaths, which is really relevant actually. So yeah, this is our pass. Like, this deck is actually just kind of insane on blue coin. I think it's like pretty legit as a deck. Just because you can do this. Like, we don't even have time to play the Abaya. Like, that's how insane it is. Because we want to pass on 7 so we can just win on even from blue. Like, how many decks can win on even on blue? Not many, but this one can a lot of the time as well. Like, very, very frequently. Alright, nice. Deck is working. Deck is working, guys. So we went on even on blue coin. That's insane. We do have one Sabbath available because there's 3 cards in our opponent's graveyard. I think he was better off just like playing a special if he had access to one. The big problem is that there's not like enough to double Sabbath, right? So there is an argument that we could just like play a few cards here and don't Sabbath this round. Go to round 3, 10 card round, but just with 6 cards in our opponent's graveyard. 6 units, that is. I think that's probably the line we're going to try and take here. So that means we need some bad cards to sort of throw away. I suppose we mulligan the Alyssa, so that's our play. Yeah, I think, as I said, the line is here to just get 3 more units in our opponent's graveyard. We want on even, so there's no punish for this. But also, the longer the round, the better because of board clog. But yeah, all we have to do is go to the long round here. This should just be a win, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think as soon as my Gurney goes through in round 1 here, there's no like graveyard punish or anything either. Like, we should just be winning from here because of row space issues for him. Again, like, we just don't want to play into this round now because I can't double Sabbath this round. So it's probably just going to come down to a Warrett versus SK, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to lose with the Warrett deck. It's so bad. But never mind. Should have spent some more time trying to find a third deck, but it is what it is, you know. Is what it is. Okay, so that's one more card. Kind of need, because of Chroma, that we kind of need a couple more though. They could also, like Freya for example, would cuck us quite hard, right? So we maybe play like a little bit deeper than 7. Like we want on even ultimately, so this is like a free bleed. Doesn't cost us anything to do. Okay, burner's good, especially. This is going to be a lot of units in the grave. I guess I'll just try and trade this for a better card, basically, at this point. So there's now 1, 2... Oh, this doesn't go in the grave. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, a Freya would get 2 cards out of the grave, so let's just, like, make some more decent trades. We do want a 10 card round, ideally, though. This is going to be our pass, because Coral's discarding something. Hopefully not a special. Reacher. I'm happy with a 10 card round. We have double Sabbath. We could have played one more card to get Sunset Wanderers, I suppose. But I think this is fine. Like, Sunset Wanderers also clogs the board at least, you know. The longer the round, the more points our Gurney ticks. Our Gurneys tick. The more times our Gurneys tick, I should say. So Alyssa's going to go because it's our ADC target. Double Red Haze is great. Hand's just looking very nice, actually. I wonder if there's ever a world that we actually kick the tribute. Probably not. Triggers our Thrive. It's pretty nice. So we're going to go Sabbath, Alyssa. Hopefully we hit the Cave Troll. Because there is like Delirium Decoction. Could set us. But there's enough units in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Freya into Crow Mother plus another Freya would like just mean that we have to kill something with a natural selection, which isn't really that difficult to do either. Or Red Haze. So we're going to front row the first Sabbath. Hopefully we hit Cave Troll and Gurney. That's the ideal hit. Not the Bloody Mistress. If we miss Cave Troll, we get heat waved quite early. So we could natural selection this, of course, but it slows us down too. This could just be a Mandrake target anyway, right? Actually decides to slam the leader. Which I think it's a misplay, to be honest. Oh, look at that. We hit exactly what we're looking for. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. This is just to all the people that say this deck is a meme and not a good deck. Like, look at us. We're beating Big KukuRuZina with a serious meta deck. And it's not even close, mate. It's going to be by a lot of points. He's getting absolutely clogged, mate. Love to see it. The rain is quite scary. Has to be said. Yeah, we're going to go ADC for Alyssa. Place it in the front row, which triggers our Sabbath. Then we're going to play the Whispers into the other Sabbath. Into the back row. This is going to trigger the Thrive, which gets us our fruits out of the rain range. And we get Gurney, Arrakis Queen, Lesser Witch. We eat the Gurney straight away. We could also wait on the Gurney. Try and abire it, but it's just very risky. And as you can see, board space. I guess Big Cuckoo could take a line to try and like actually block row space. We only need 2 cards anyway. Back row.
Know that I was claimed by Clara Larissa de Winter herself.
But yeah, if Big Cuckoo's able to like block space in the back row as well, so I can only summon like 1 unit, that'll be pretty big brain. But again, board space is a serious issue anyway. There comes the Pella. Pray for the fruits, guys. Pray for the fruits. Oh, look at that. Absolutely wonderful, mate. And look at this board space for Big Cuckoo. There's just not much going, is there? Now, because there's still a heat wave, all we're going to do is just eat the AQ straight away. Let's go, man. How is this deck even fair, mate? It's so good on blue coin. It's outrageous. Like, just being able to win on even from blue coin is just utterly bonkers, mate. It really is ridiculous. Like, there's still 7 cards to be played by each player here. That's also what's insane. So we just want to make sure we don't kill anything yet with stuff like the red hazes. Obviously, he knows I'm playing double red haze. It's open deck list. Fruit dies, which just means like a little bit more board space to put units down. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Here comes the rain. Hopefully our fruits survive. So there's a heat wave, a decoction, a delirium. Delirium would be quite scary on the back row, I suppose. Okay. That was pretty unlucky for him. Now the rain. Yeah, he's getting very unlucky, has to be said. I don't think it really matters too much, though. Even if he removed a couple more fruits, I still think we win by a lot. So, off the Aneromancy, we have, I guess, Genkian. And yeah, this is GG. GG. Let's go! That's what we like to see, man. What a broken deck, man. Actually broken deck. Okay, now we have to win with the Warrant deck. Can we do it? Probably not. Okay. Okay, Warrant. Okay, dudes. This is gonna go so badly. It's so sad how bad this deck is, mate. It's so sad. Like, the other decks, like Salamander and the Salamander and the Gurney deck are, like, very good into Nilfgaard, but they're also good into other decks. This deck is so bad. I don't even know if it's good into Nilfgaard. I wish I spent a little bit more time on this, like, third deck, but it is what it is, man. I was thinking about just playing Rain SK. That was my plan, but I thought it was kind of boring. But imagine I bring Rain SK and he just bans that instead of Salamander, you know? Would be quite a big difference. But never mind. We won with Gurney, that's the main thing, right? Alright. Come on, Big Cuckoo. Let's bloody have it, mate. Let's bloody have it, mate. I'm going to do a quick check on how Spyro's doing. He's streaming his game. It's like a team tournament. We have to win 2 out of 3. In a lost hers 2-0. So I might win and we might still be out. That's the crazy thing.
Of course, friend.
Alright. We don't need to look at the deck list. It's just a standard list. I'm trying to check on Spiro. I mean, he's still playing, so... Alright, I think we just go for like the Warrant line. Obviously, there's discard cards. Oh, there's a mask as well. It's interesting. A Fury Merchant is like our only Alchemist type card here. Courier can go, I guess. So, we don't actually have the Alchemists. We have to rely on the Fury Merchant. Oh no. Oh dear. Let's hope we can get a nice mill with Traherne. How do we win this game? I think we need round control probably. Obviously a big steal from Warrant would be nice. But it's very unlikely to happen against the discard deck, especially with the Mask of Ouroboros. So we could actually Vilk this as like an early opening play.
Bow, barbarian. Bow low.
God. I mean, that's a big low roll as well, man. That's a big old low roll.
Careful. You do not want me to
We're pretending that we're just trying to like clean the top of the deck up here so I can alchemist them. Right? That's what we're trying to scare a Big Cuckoo into thinking here. I wonder if the line is ever correct here as well for us to go down like a couple of cards and okay, the coral comes in. The emote worked. That's the main thing, right? The emote actually did the job here. So that's very important that the emote did some serious work. Okay. This would also suggest that there's more cards in hand that discard, I would say. I think we should probably take the Vilg here. On this. And I'm just going to get rid of the Tourney Joust. It's the worst card for round 1. Obviously I don't have any alchemy cards. I don't play Mushy Truffle either, unfortunately. But I can steal some with like Cantor. Steal some with a Fury Merchant. Like if we can get the Geddy with Warrant. We can also trigger it with Wrathen, Spotters, etc. right? By stealing the cards. So probably the objective here is to try and win the round on even, I would say. It's definitely winnable. Like I think if Big Cuckoo passes, we just slam the Warrant and hope we see the Geddy. I feel like it's time to just hit the Snowdrop here, to be fair. Like we've got to go for this, man.
My men know the meaning of sacrifice.
It's pretty unfortunate, really. I guess we get rid of Informant and maybe Cantor.
You shall know the Emperor's fury!
We could invoke Coral. As I say, I think just winning this on even is pretty much our only line here because of discard cards. We know there's obviously Sunset Wanderers in hand too. And we also know the stuff that they've been drawing has been bronzes. So it's okay. Now, this is where we play the Warrant. See the Geddy? Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Now, this is a bit of a sticky situation because this is a way I can actually get Geddy triggered, right? The Informant, but I guess we kind of just have to go for it. Like, I can still trigger it through Brathens. I can still trigger it through Cantarella plus Gortha, right? Alright. I guess we take the long round, seeing as I have a Geddy and they don't. Still very losable. We could also just invo a Preacher or so, right? But yeah, this was our line to win. Like, I know it seems like excessive, like you slam leader and then you play Warrior, but like... I think it was the only line, mate. I really do. I think it was the only line, chat. Oh, there's no chat here. It's YouTube. Come on, guys. We can actually do this, man. We can actually beat BigKukuRuZina with a Nilfgaard target without Nilfgaard. That would be pretty juicy. So it's coming down to the round 3, the last game. I'm very sad about giving them my Cantarella, to be honest. I wonder if even giving them giving them my Informant. I wonder if giving them Royal Decree was actually the play. I could definitely see that being the case. Like, my Royal Decree ain't doing too much, is it? It does give me Invo. It's like I don't have to wait, you know, I can Invo like last second. Mushy Truffle would have also been a big help for me here, with the fact it's an alchemy, right? But let's see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. I think I'm probably less favoured, but Geddy's a lot of points, that's for sure. Okay, this is really good to see. So is that. So the big card. We don't want to hit the other Major Assassin under any circumstances here. So let's keep the hand. Also, the other thing to consider is my opponent does play Heat Wave, so my Geddy maybe just gets Heat Waved, right? Wouldn't be too surprised. And has an Informant in hand as well. I think giving them the Informant was pretty bad, right? Should have given them Royal Decree. On reflection. It's kind of just unfortunate I wasn't able to give them something like a Courier or whatever, right? Now, there's also a chance that Big Cuckoo missed some other cards, so we could go for like a high roll Alchemist, a high roll Spotter rather. Oh no, we don't even have one. Yeah, we do have Royal Decree. Could do that. Coral's like maybe the best bet. If we're saying this is getting Heat Waved, we just want to play it late anyway because of the Informant. We don't want to give them Bonded too early. Yeah, so I think the clear play for Big Cuckoo is to Heat Wave the Geddy. We need to play this in the back row as well, by the way, for the Mage Assassins. Look at that value, mate. That's insane. Courier plus Mage Assassin is absolutely popping off, mate. Such good value. It's like a Blight Maker, but cheaper. It's obviously a few points worse, but it's significantly cheaper. It's obviously not very reliable either, unless you thin a lot. Which a lot of these tactical decision decks do. I do think Courier is like one of the most underrated cards in the game. Yeah, as I say, like we're gonna be trying to be very careful about giving too much value here. We know our top card is a Spotter, which we don't particularly want to give our opponent with the Ethereum Merchant. Know what I mean? There's a Spotter, then a Courier, which I also don't want to give them particularly because there's no other way of thinning the Mage Assassin, right? So, again, problem with Geddy is it just gives them Bonded quickly. I don't hate the look of the Invo on Burner. Maybe it's fine to just give them a Spotter.
What without pleasures is life?
Okay. I mean, not sure it's great. It means they haven't got one. That's the good news. It's one less Preacher for them. It's not particularly something I want to play though, you know, because again I think my Geddy is just getting heat waved, which means I have no alchemy cards. I guess I can Cantarella an alchemy card. Especially as I have Crow Mother. What we need to be careful of though is what my mental's just looking pretty shite, mate, to be fair. Guess it pays for 5 points if I do it before the Sunset Wanderers. Like, 'cause I need to put an alchemy on top, really, right? Okay, seeing for Kushagon is also kind of good. I think I just take my 5-point mental here. Honestly, it's kind of bad, but.
Monsters! No, a goat will suffice for now.
Wait a second. Are you? All right. Shoot. Imagine I Cantarella'd. Do they have another discard then? Imagine they don't have another discard. If they no, they have Scald in hand, right? We just told them Scald is the next card. What is a 10? Heatwave. So I actually missed Heatwave until just now. Oh my. So we could have Cantarella'd into Heatwave. Mate, if he doesn't have the Scald, if the 2 cards are Heatwave Scald, he's been absolutely finessed. If the 2 cards are exactly Heatwave Scald, oh my god, guys, the 2 cards are exactly Heatwave Scald. Holy shit, are we winning the game? Guys, we're actually winning the game, right? Oh no, the Sunset Wanderers. Oh! Mate, that's so sad. I thought we actually finessed them. So if I just went for the higher roll Canter, or like if I had a spotter. Oh my. Oh my god. That's insane. Obviously means I could have gone for the Geddy sooner as well. So Cantarella, the game plan is still going to be... Oh, I just thought as well I could even like clog a Sunset Wanderers, right? So...
Don't touch! Those mixtures sustain.
It actually was as well, mate, but the Sunset Wanderers... Oh, no. Heartbreak. That is devastating, mate. Absolutely devastating. So Royal Decree, really, we want it to be for Courier, which means I can probably just use Invo as a tool punish. The Courier is so many points. Again, what I don't like about playing the Geddy is it just gives them informant value. I would have Heatwave Truffle as well, by the way, in case you're wondering.
I live to serve you.
Look at that value, mate. That's disgusting. So yeah, I think we just take the Invo here on Sunset Wanderers. I suppose there's also an argument to say that we could Brathan's first to get the Assimilate if we're just saying that our thing's getting heatwaved anyway. And we don't even necessarily have to go for a Preacher, because that would give them Informant early. Maybe we should take the Invo. Do we take the Invo next? Is it possible the Preacher ever goes taller than 15? See, we're doing quite well to, like, deny their bonded value. I think it's fine to just take the Invo here. Frees up our sequencing significantly.
Travel makes one modest. Let's one see the bigger picture.
Like, I could still go Cantarella here for a, well, I actually can't. Basically, this is never going through. It just isn't, right? So we should play Brothans first. It's just a value play. Man, imagine I actually had a good deck. This was an easy victory, mate. Like the Gurney and the Salamander were just ready to clean up, but this Warwick deck ain't it. Again, in Nilfgaard Mirrors, it's probably popping off with stuff like the Cantarella. That's exactly why they're in the deck. It's never a deck I would play on ladder. So we're doing quite well to minimize the bonded value. We know they still have a Heat Wave. We just know they still have an Informant. So... I mean, I guess I've also given them a juicy Informant off my Mentor, right? Just a bit of an issue. I could also Canter the Preacher, maybe? Is that ever good? I don't know. But here I'm just saying that we know they have Informant, we know they have Heat Wave, we know what they want to do, which is to Informant my Preacher, Heat Wave the Geddy. So we're just trying to make their sequencing a little bit worse, because they get more bonded value than I do. We do trade up on the Heat Wave, but they have Leader plus Shuffle. Unfortunately, I can't quite decoction their Preacher here.
Let us see.
Informant and Heat Wave. Unfortunately, their Informant plays as a 12 on the Mentor. It's not great. I'm not exactly doing a good job of... I mean, it's just over, right? Unfortunately, my deck's too bad. Maybe I just had to try and get him to pass without Sam jamming the leader, but I think it was just... it was never going to work if I did it like that.
Grace will not be pleased.
GG. It was a valiant effort with the Warwick deck, mate. It was so bad. It was so bad. I was under no illusions that this deck was dog shit, just for the record. Now he's working out how much he can BM by like just not heat waving anything, right? So the line was, if I took this high roll Cantarella and found the Heat Wave, we would have won the game, innit? Or if Heat Wave was the bottom card, which it was second bottom.
Reach beyond what the eye sees.
GG. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Next time I play in one of these tournaments, I'll try and make sure I don't bring a dud deck. But again, the target was Nilfgaard. The Gurney deck won. So, you know, we'll take it. GG to Big Cuckoo. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And apologies for the lack of editing. Again, I'm just trying to do this in one take so I can actually get a video up today. Otherwise, it was not going to be a video because I do need to stream pretty soon. Thanks for watching. See you soon.